Hey class, so we're going to pick up where we left off. You'll notice I have gone ahead and placed the other windows here, and I've placed them using some dimensions, so I have some extra dimensions on this plan at this point. The next thing I want to do is create the stair. So we are going to go, just like last week, go to the stair button. We come in here and we see that we have a 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread. Again, that's commercial. This is residential. So we're going to edit type, and we're going to simply change our, well, again, I almost did it again, but let's rename this first. 7 3/4 inch max riser with a 10-inch tread. And then change our calculation parameters to match that. Hit OK. Now, the other thing I want to do with this type, we're going to go back into edit type, sorry. If you remember from last week, it created stringers. Now, I do not want to create those stringers. So if you come in here to supports, in the type, we can say none for the right support and none for the left support. Now that will get rid of the stringers altogether. We can hit OK. And we want the stair to go around. Now we've only drawn a straight run before, but this isn't that different. We're going to use the run and then the line command. Again, we are going to draw it along a line, along an edge, so, and that's looking up the stair. So the stair goes up this way, so that is the left side then. So we want the location to be the left side, and we're going to come in. I'm going to align it with this edge for now. I'm going to drag out until I get those 8 risers, which is half my stair, because again over here it says desired number 16. So we're going to go up 8 risers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this side and click and drag this way. And what that does, and I'm going to click again, the space between it fills with a landing automatically. That's what's so nice about creating stairs with the run command, is that it automatically creates the landing. And you'll note that from that edge, that gave me exactly the amount of stairs. Well, sorry, I mean that aligns with the edge of this wall. So there's our stair. I also didn't check my constraints because, again, I know how stairs work. They go from the first floor to the second floor. I don't really need to change that. That's the behavior I wanted. All stairs are in place. I can hit the green check mark button. And that shows the stair like this. Now, there's a few problems with this. I'm going to go to my 3D view so we can take a look at this. Now, this places that railing, and you'll notice that that railing is essentially the railing that we have out here, because we didn't rename it. It's using, or we didn't duplicate it. It's using the same railing type. And it looks a little wonky. For now, we're just going to select that and delete it. It automatically creates that railing when it creates the stair. And because we're enclosed within a wall, for now, we're just going to delete those. So there's our stair, and now if we go back to the first floor, we can see that we don't have that dashed line for the railing. You'll also notice that the stair isn't quite perfectly aligned, and there's some overhang here. We'll deal with that later. But for now, we need to put the stair that goes from the basement up to this floor in place, but right now it's showing the stair above the cut line. So what we can do with that is, if we type VV, that brings up our visibility graphics. This is basically the menu. When we right click on something and say overriding graphics and view, these are the things that we're overriding. We're going to come down here to stairs. We're going to expand it. And you can see this visibility of all these things that say above. Above, the cut marks, nosing lines, outlines, everything above. So what we want to do is uncheck those. What that's going to do is turn off everything above our cut line. So we're going to hit OK. And now we just see up. And I'm actually going to select my dimensions here and move them a little bit further out of my way, so that I always like to put my up centered on the arrow. So now we have the stair. It's still there, we just don't see it because it's cutting off everything above. Now we need to go down. The problem is, let me go to my 3D view here. Well, we can't really see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my section. Now the section isn't due, but I'm going to go ahead and set that up just so I can see what's going on. So I'm going to create a section marker. I'm going to cut that section right through my building. And then I'm going to come over here to my sections. You can see that my floor, again, just kind of like last week, we haven't cut out our floor for this stair. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got our floor selected. And what we want to do is cut out the floor here. But we also want to cut out the floor here where it goes into this shaft, this mechanical shaft. So we are going to edit boundary. And we are going to cut the floor back to the start of this riser over to here. And I'm not paying that close attention here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trim to corner command. I'm going to go from here to here. There's going to be a little overlap there. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to delete this line. Use the trim to corner tool again. Now if I really wanted to be a stickler for how this is drawn or how this gets constructed in real life, I would go to medium, that is detail level, and the edge of this floor would actually be to the inside face of this core. So I could align to this line, that line. That line's fine, align to that stair. And again, here I could align to this line, that line. And again, we can leave that there. That's fine if that floor comes out a little into this opening. That's all hidden in a shaft anyway. Hit the green check mark button. If this comes up, say no. So now we have an opening here. And you can see that in my section, I now have a vertical line here, so I have an opening underneath of this stair. So now I can go to my basement plan, because, well, you know what, let's do this from the first floor. Stairs typically go up, but we can also draw them down, so we'll go to the stair command. We've got the right type, but in this case our first floor is our base level. I don't know if we can do this. Let's try that. Yeah, we should be able to do it that way. Nope, can't do it that way. So we are going to do base level basement, top level first floor, but we're drawing this in the first floor. We're probably going to get a warning that tells us that we can't see it, but I'm not sure yet. So our basement is going to be in the same point. It's going to start here and go upwards. Of course, I'm still on the left run, so I hit the wrong point, so I'm going to start over. I'm going to go up 6 risers. Sorry, 8 risers. Now, my height from my basement to this floor is different, so I'm going to have more landing. Of course, I chose the wrong line again. And that's fine. We're just going to get this in here. We're going to use our Align tool, AL. I'm going to select that line, which is the edge of my floor now, to bring that up. And this floor is, this run is aligning with what's above. So we're going to hit the green check mark button, and that's going to create our downstairs. I'm going to move that out. That also creates a railing, so I can select that rail and delete it. And I'm going to go to a 3D section, turn on my section box so that I can do a 3D section through this stair. Went a little, no, that's where I wanted to go. Now you'll notice a few things. This landing isn't quite lining up with that wall, so we can do a little tweaking. This stair here, let's go up to the second floor. You can see that the landing doesn't align with the edge of the wall, so again we can use that Align tool and we can move that stair back. Then we can go back to the first floor, and that means our floor doesn't align anymore, so we're going to fix that. We're going to select our floor, edit boundary, and the floor should align with the riser. So there's the riser. We're going to align that. Hit the green check mark, say no. And this stair is now off, so we're going to edit stairs, and we are going to select this run, and we're going to move it. I can't move it. Let's see how I can get this to work. There we go. I can just drag it. It's going to slide the whole thing up. Hit the green check mark. Delete that railing as well. Probably doesn't help that I have my detail level set to medium, so let's set that back to coarse. And now you can see the down goes this way, the up goes this way. And because the downstairs flight has less height in it, there's more landing than there is stair. So let's check that out in 3D to see if that's correct. Now you'll notice the landing doesn't quite go to the wall here because the wall is in a different plane. And again, just the difference between the two stairs. So what we can do is when we go to the basement level, we can edit this stair. And the landing, we can simply pull out to the edge of the wall. Again, I like to move my up arrow. We don't really need the section for now. So for this week, if you've cut a section like I did, just so that you could see, you can right-click, hide in view by category. And we're going to do that on the first floor as well. We're going to hide this so that we don't see it for this week's assignment. So there's the stair.